Today I am going to be talking about eye contact, how to maintain it, how to have good eye contact, not to be fucking creepy eye contact, and how to basically get over that fear of making eye contact with people and really how important this is. So if you're trying to attract the opposite sex, one really important thing is to maintain strong eye contact and be able to do that, and to do that in a way that isn't creepy. I'm John from BulldogMindset.com, and on this channel I teach you everything you need to know to be a man who is able to take charge of his life, to be able to get what he wants out of life, and we do that through developing mental toughness, what I call the Bulldog Mindset, and rejecting the victim mindset. Alright, let's jump right into this email here. So I got this email, and we'll zoom in here. He says, "Hey John, I've noticed, and others have pointed out, that I tend not to do very well with eye contact. This used to match the rest of my personality when I was painfully shy, but it's a bit of a weird holdover now that I'm not. I feel like I would have better presence in general if I corrected this tendency. How would you go about improving things if you notice it on yourself? I figured you are a good person to ask, since I figured the, quote, old John that you've shown pictures of at various points look like someone who would have similar issues with eye contact, whereas I know that you currently don't have that problem. What changed it? Anyways, keep up the good work on the channel." Why people have bad eye contact in general, okay? And what it really stems from, in my opinion, okay, in most cases, is just a lack of confidence. And so if you've got bad eye contact with a person, it comes from usually a lack of social confidence. You don't feel like comfortable in a social situation that you're in. When you are in a social situation where you don't feel uncomfortable, eye contact and just natural reaction should not be a problem. Here's a good test that you can do, is see if when you're with someone that you, let's say a relative, let's say, someone that, or your best friend, or someone that you really, connect with deeply, that you would sing a silly song in front of, okay? That level, okay? It could be various people, different people for different, depending on, who you know and how you grew up, okay? It might not be your relatives. It might be a friend or something like that, okay? It might be a significant other, all right? But with that person, do you have any difficulty maintaining eye contact? In fact, are you even conscious of it, right? It should be automatic, because you're already wired to do that. Think about breathing. When you think about breathing, you have to think about breathing, okay? It's not happening automatically when you're thinking about it. But when you're not thinking about breathing, it happens automatically, right? Your heart beats automatically. If you think about that one, you can't really change that one unless you're a monk, okay? But there's a lot of behaviors, right, that happen, autonomous behaviors that happen from our autonomic nervous system, okay, within our body. Our brain has a certain portion of ourselves that it controls, okay, that happens automatically. Breathing, heartbeat, right, all those things, otherwise you would die. The same goes for a lot of behaviors, right, what we would call the subconscious. From a physical perspective, right, I mean, you guys have seen some of my pictures and stuff, my ugly fat pictures or whatever, but even if you just look at my older YouTube videos, where I'm essentially, not really that much different physically, it looks like a different guy. I present as a different person. Why? Because my image of myself is different. And so my subconscious is projecting differently. Why are my shoulders, so much forward and my head down? Because it's all automatic. Why am I, shifting my gaze? Why is my movements, they seem robotic to some degree? Because I'm not comfortable. There's ways to change behavior, but those things are not as effective as changing behavior at the core level. If we were to look at how our behaviors flow forth from us, right? The largest thing that determines our behavior, that determines kind of the subconscious, like I said with the breathing, right? Behavior that we have is our identity. Because from our identity flows our actions, right? Because from our identity is where our subconscious, where our mind gets what it believes about ourselves, and it runs on autopilot based on those particular contexts. If you get really angry, if you fly into a rage, okay, I have seen guys that are like the little shortest guy in the room shouldn't be fucking with anyone, but you piss them off enough, they will yell in anyone's face. They will just do stupid shit, okay, because they're fearless at that point, because they're so enraged, like rage has taken over. Okay, they're suddenly taking on a different persona. Their actions, everything is completely different. Okay, even though what they're doing, like if they were conscious of it, they would not be doing it. They would not be fucking messing with the guy that is twice their size, except that they are in a rage. Okay, based on your identity, based on certain contexts, you're going to behave and act in a certain way. And so the best way to tackle this eye contact problem is to actually change the identity and the behavior, which is going to basically be exposing yourself to more social situations. You are a product of your inputs. If you want to change your mindset, if you want to change how you think about things and your belief systems, you cannot actively change those. Okay, if I want to suddenly believe that elephants are pink and can fly, it doesn't matter how hard I try, how hard I focus on that, I can't. That's why when people are saying, just be confident, bro, and you're like, yeah, that's some pretty shitty advice. I tried, right? You can sit in the mirror and you can look at yourself and be like, I'm a confident man. Yeah, okay? It's not going to fucking work. Why? Because you cannot change your beliefs directly, but you can change your beliefs indirectly. It means that if you read a lot of books, if you take a lot of inputs, if you hang around the right people, if you watch the right YouTube videos that actually feed your mind with these principles and ideas and systems, you will eventually become those things. This is how cults exist. This is why cults cut off outside communication. This is how you get indoctrinated. This is how Facebook is mind controlling you right now with your newsfeed. So you can use this for good. If you want to change yourself, start reading, start listening to, start surrounding yourself with people that have social skills, that have this mindset of confidence, of self-efficacy, okay, self-empowerment, right? Some Tony Robbins shit. Yeah, I know, sounds kind of kooky and shit, but it's good. Second thing is exposure. But exposure is not enough. Let's talk about driving. How often do you drive? How many years have you been driving? Okay, I don't know about you, but I've been driving for a long time, like, over 20 years, and I've driven a lot. Now, I don't drive as much anymore because I just hang out in my office all day and lift weights. That's the only time I ever leave the office. I'm just kidding. Can you get out on a NASCAR track right now and race and do good? Like, what would happen if you tried to race a NASCAR, in a NASCAR event? You would get your ass, you would just die. You would just crash right into the fucking wall and die.
Oh, no, Benedetto! And everybody! Good.
Oh, no. You have thousands and thousands of hours of practice. Are you getting any better at driving? Really? Like, what happened is this. You got to a certain level of goodness of driving, right? And it happened pretty quickly, all right? And then you stayed there, and you kept on putting in more and more time and more hours, but you didn't improve, did you? No, you didn't. Why? It's because you have to actually do something that challenges you in order to grow. If you continue to do the same thing over and over again, if you play the same song on your guitar over and over again, you'll get good to it to a certain point, but you're not going to get better at guitar. You're not going to get gooder at guitar by playing the same song. There's people that can walk 7-minute miles. I don't think you're doing that, but you walk all the fucking time, okay? Look at Wim Hof and breathing. You're not an expert breather because you haven't practiced it to the degree of challenge. So the reason why I'm telling you this is because the same applies to social skills, right? And eye contact is one of those skills, and it's included in this, okay? But social skills in general. The reason why you're not comfortable more in social situations, even though you've overcome some of your shyness, is because you're not pushing the boundary further. You have to constantly be pushing the boundary in order to grow. If we jump back to the track of the guy that talked to 1,000 women and didn't get laid, the problem is most likely that this dude is a very nice guy, that he's not being very sexual, that he's not going into the risk zone, okay? He's not trying things, he's not putting on moves, he's not risking the real rejection of the sexual rejection. He's not taking those leaps and those risks. If he started being a little bit more bold socially, going for it a little bit more, trying to really make shit happen, trying to really get the fuck out of here, like get a no response, like pushing the limit to that degree, he would calibrate and he would learn. Now, I'm not saying that you should just if you're going to apply this to eye contact, that you should just fucking stare people down. Like, that's not the ideal. thing, but by taking extremes and doing things that are extreme and challenging, it will cause you to grow, and that growth will make you more comfortable. You got to kind of push the boundaries. Now, you don't have to push that extreme, okay? I went to an Elliot Hulse, oh my gosh, I can tell you this story. I went to this Elliot Hulse event, like the first Elliot Hulse event I went to. Like, he didn't put on very many live events. This was before he went like off the deep end, and then he came back, and now he's, I don't know, people say he's off the deep end. Now I think he's actually back. But anyway, so I went to this event, and this dude, like, there's like a Q&A session or something, and this dude raises his hand, and he says, "Can I come up? I want to show something. I want to do something." And so it's like, okay. So the dude just like fucking takes all his clothes off, like butt ass naked, in the middle of this event. And this event, I mean, it wasn't huge, but there was at least 100 or something people in the room, and there were some women in the room as well. And, you know, the dude was not like a Greek god. He was not jacked, okay? He wasn't like super obese, but people did not want to see him naked, okay? And he said something about, "I want to get over my fears." And I don't know, I had mixed thoughts on it. I had to kind of respect the guy a little bit because, I mean, I do, like, because that takes some fucking balls. But I can guarantee you that he made some big leaps and bounds in his social comfort level. Now, whether he was, autistic as fuck doing something like that, and he was just, I don't know, or if he just had some kind of, like, I don't know. But anyway, it's an example. When you're a confident man, and you don't give a fuck what other people think, and you know what you think, and you know what you stand for, and you know what you represent, and you come into a conversation or a social situation knowing that and being secure in yourself, you make eye contact, and you don't have a fucking problem. And you can do whatever the fuck you want. It doesn't matter. Now, with that said, I did promise you guys I would give you some help, okay, and give you some specific exercises. I don't want you to just be a fucking creepy weirdo who's practicing eye contact and can't hold a conversation because you're like, I need to look into the left eye of this person and alternate eyes. Oh, it's been 20 seconds, now I need to look away and then look again. Like, if you do that robotically, you're going to look weird. It's just going to be weird. It's going to be awkward. It's going to be too much mental. It's like trying to control your breathing, okay? Don't do it. So here's the exercise. What I want you to do is, while you're walking down the street, or if you're going for a run, that's actually a really good time to do this. As you encounter people that are passing you on the street, I want you to make eye contact with them, and I want you to hold eye contact with them. Okay? No, you're not allowed to smile. You're not allowed to smirk. You just have to hold eye contact with them. If they say hi, you can say hi back. Okay? But you keep eye contact with them. They must look away first. This is actually a very difficult exercise. But it shouldn't be. And I want you to tell me why it shouldn't be. Okay? Just pause the video, think about this. Why shouldn't this be hard? Why should this be not hard, not difficult? Why should this be easy? The reason why it should be easy is because why the fuck should you break eye contact first? They're looking at you too, right? They're in the same situation. The thing is, you are weaker. You care more about what they think, what people think. You're weak if you can't hold the eye contact, right? Because if you break it first, that means that they held it to an uncomfortable point. Now, if you both look away at the same time, okay, sure, but that's not going to happen, right? In fact, if they look away, how do they even know that you're still looking at them? So if you have trouble with this exercise, it indicates, especially with the majority of people, it indicates that you are weaker and more socially awkward and anxious than most people, right? Because you should be making them uncomfortable and they should look away. But it shouldn't be a long battle. You're going to encounter some people when you do this that are not going to look away. And you're not going to look away. And that's good. That's a good exercise, good practice. Now, you may get punched. You may anger some people. You may generate a hostile response from some men that will stand their ground. It's fine. Stand your own ground. You don't have to, you can disarm the situation. You can be diplomatic. I've got some videos on being diplomatic. But I want you to do the exercise anyway, because life entails risk, okay? And when you realize that most of the time you're not going to get your ass kicked, even when you, stare into the eyes of someone that looks hardcore and like they would want to kick your ass, or even if they do kick your ass, big fucking deal. So you get your ass kicked for staring at someone. Big fucking deal. I know that's not going to encourage you. The second thing I would say is that you're going to make eye contact with people and then you're going to do something weird. Okay? So you're going to do something either like you can wink, right? You can be like, okay, see how people react. Guys, girls, it doesn't matter. Just, if they're looking back at you, it's perfectly valid for you to be, give them a nice little wink. All right. The other thing you can do is you can smirk, right? If you know how to smirk, it's like, you can wink and smirk. It's kind of funny. So, and see what happens. The idea here is that what you want to do is you want to change the initiative, okay? Because the problem that you have, all right, again, if we were to dissect this, the reason why you can't make eye contact with people is because you feel uncomfortable in the social situation. They are making you feel uncomfortable whether they're doing it intentionally or not. What you want to do is you want to reverse the table and you want to get comfortable making other people feel uncomfortable. The last one is to generate uncomfortable silences. So one of the things I like to do when I'm coaching guys, especially like in Vegas or something like that, where they have social anxiety and they need to go, is to tell them or do it myself, is just go up to, group of girls or girl or something and say, just say nothing. Just say nothing for like 30 seconds, or just say hi. And just nothing. Uncomfortable silence. Let them stew in it. And what you will find is, some people will think you're weird, but for the most part, you're going to people won't even have the time to think you're weird because they're going to feel uncomfortable. Now you have the ability to relieve that tension by saying, I'm just fucking with you. How's it going? I'm John. Right? Something like that. All right. And the reason why I want you to do this is because I want you to get used to, and this is kind of one of those powerful frame control concepts, is you need to be the one who is the aggressor, who is in the dominant position in a social interaction. Social dominance is the ability to set the course of the interaction and to be the one who is causing the other person to be off-put at all, right? If someone's going to be off-put. Now, you should definitely make people feel comfortable and welcome in conversations, but you should always maintain that dynamic where you're not the one on guard, right? Especially if you're having problems with eye contact. The reason why you're having these problems, again, is because you are in that weaker, submissive position, okay? And it goes back to genetics. It goes back to, there's studies on apes and shit that we're not going to get into here, but just, trust me when I say that this is what the real underlying issue is, okay? It's not a habit thing. It's not, like, you can make up all kinds of bullshit excuses as to what, like, you're distracted and you look in different places, bullshit, okay? The real reason why is because you feel inferior, right? You are in a submissive, you're putting yourself automatically in a submissive position, and if you've been socially awkward in the past, shy, things like that, believe me, I've overcome these things. I can tell you, right? You have to be the one that is able to put people into the other position and be comfortable with that. How do you deal with, some of the things I said here? Okay, that all sounds good, but fuck, I'm not going to go to a conference in my underwear and talk to people. I'm just sorry, John, it's not worth it. John, I'm not going to stare at people like there's, like gangsters in my neighborhood and they're going to fucking, cut me up and shit. Here's the answer. If you want to live a normal, mediocre life and you're happy with where you are, then don't take any fucking chances. Don't. It's fine. But if you want to change your life, you're going to have to do shit like this. So you might as well just get used to doing shit like this. Everyone is an NPC except for you. You're the player character. Do you really care what the NPC does? I don't give a fuck. Now, I know this is easier said than done. I know. I've been there. But you know what? I reached a point in my life where I said, fuck. I'm just going to get in front of the camera and just say some shit. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Your life will change completely. If there's one piece of advice that you get from this entire video, that's that. Leave a comment below. Let me know if you're going to actually do this shit. And if not, why not? Hold yourself accountable. Let's commit here. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.